East Asia Forum, 11th of April 2024, China-Maldives defense ties threaten India's influence. China's all-out battle on the Indian subcontinent has allowed it to conquer the Maldives. From Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu's election victory in 2023, Male and New Delhi have not had the best relations. During Muizzu's visit to Beijing in January 2024, the Maldives and China inked several bilateral agreements on infrastructure, energy, maritime cooperation, and agricultural cooperation. In March 2024, the Maldives and China signed two defense accords wherein China pledged to provide military support, significantly strengthening their partnership. These accords may not alter China's triangular relations with the Maldives and India or the regional security balance. However, they have sparked worries, particularly in India. Due to their tiny size and lack of resources, the Maldives may look to China for military assistance to address disaster relief, marine security, and national defense issues. China's support can be interpreted as an attempt to strengthen the Maldives' armed forces rather than a purposeful effort to change the region's dynamics. However, China's larger plan to wield power and reduce India's area of influence over South Asian nations may include military cooperation. At Muizzu's request, India has also begun to remove its military personnel stationed in the Maldives. Significant infrastructure projects, such as the $200 million China-Maldives Friendship Bridge, demonstrate China's growing influence in the Maldives. The authorization granted to the Chinese ocean research vessel Xiangyang 03 to land at a port in the Maldives is another evidence of China's influence. At the same time, India is bolstering its armed forces on the strategically significant Lakshadweep Islands, which are located around 130 kilometers north of the Maldives. The Indian Navy has disclosed its intentions to send a naval force based on Minicoy Island to improve monitoring activities in the area. The Indian Navy declared in March 2024 that it would be stepping up its presence on strategically essential islands close to the Maldives. Situated in the Lakshadweep archipelago of India, the recently commissioned INS Jatayu began operations on March 6 and is intended to serve as a standalone maritime unit. By taking this calculated risk, India is strengthening its naval power to keep a watchful stance and anticipate any threats. A key component of China's string of pearls strategic strategy includes the Maldives. China is attempting to increase its power by surrounding important maritime routes with a network of naval bases and economic ports. Situated at 700 kilometers from the Lakshadweep archipelago and 1,200 kilometers from the Indian mainland, the Maldives enjoy a strategic location. Given that the Maldives are close to India, serious security concerns exist over China's expanding influence there. The consensus is that China's swift military modernization and maritime expansion in the Indian Ocean region have more significant consequences than the rest of the world realized. Due to the world's transformation in naval strength, China is now prepared to balance Indian interests in the Indian Ocean with U.S. interests in the West Pacific. China may take a military stance in the area due to its expanding influence in the Indian Ocean and its bold Belt and Road Initiative. Given that China's actions may limit India's operational space and lessen its traditional leverage with smaller regional governments, these trends are highly significant for India. A significant development in China's strategic encirclement of its neighbor would be establishing a naval facility on one of the Maldivian islands, providing military pressure along the Himalayan frontier and creating a marine front against India. One of China's most crucial strategic nexus is the Maldives. China and the Maldives have just signed defense agreements, highlighting a developing alliance that might improve China's standing in the Indian Ocean. Despite their historical setting inside India's sphere of influence, the Maldives might strengthen China's maritime presence and capabilities as part of the string of pearls. India should put more effort into preparing for the unavoidable effects of Chinese influence in the Indian Ocean than doubting China's intentions. China's maritime actions are motivated by various issues, including its reliance on resources from the Middle East and Africa, commercial and resource interests, diplomatic considerations, military and security concerns, and more. China wants to weaken the cohesion and might of India's regional alliances by extending its influence from the East Sea to the Indian Ocean. China has increased trade and diplomatic ties with many nations, including the Maldives, to secure energy routes through these regions. India should prioritize diplomatic engagement, economic collaboration, and security partnerships to deepen its ties with the Maldives and reduce China's influence. To preserve a proactive posture, protect its national interests, and reduce threats to regional security, India must also strengthen its defense cooperation with key security allies, including the US, Australia, Japan, and ASEAN nations.